Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the LPR League. And we're at Brazil today for the finale, the final round. I am in the championship fight as well. It's between me and, I think his name is Flex Farilando. I believe that's his username. Between us, I was definitely an underdog coming into this event, trailing by 10 points I believe at the start of the race, so I didn't have the highest hopes for the championship, but I was still willing to give it my all, see what I could have done. So do stick around to the end of the video to see the outcome of the championship. But now coming up to the line to finish my first flying lap at a 107.9, which, I mean, it was alright. My lap kind of felt good for a banker. Definitely felt I could have done more, but then when I saw that Farilando gone fast on mediums, I was like, okay, championship over right there. Brazil as well is one of my weaker circuits on the game. It's a shame because I really enjoy driving here, but I just can't seem to get the car hooked up. I don't know if it's down to my setup. I have had to make a lot of adjustments to try and get the car to sit through turns like turn 1. And I think turn like 10 as well. One of the middle sector hairpins. Very easy. The car is very easily unsettled with my driving style, so I had to make a lot of adjustments to try and fix it. Quite difficult overall. But I kept thinking I found a balance. Coming up to the line then to start my final lap of the session. Down into turn 1, you can see instantly red delta there. We got a worse exit out of turn 12. You can see a very slight snap of oversteer, so I couldn't really get back on the power, and I think I spent too long in 6th gear, so I lost a bit of speed there. You can see we are just about in the green, but I missed the apex down at turn 4. Then I come down through 5. I think I'm just using too long of gears. I don't know what it is, whether it was the pressure of potential championship or what, I don't know. Coming then into turn, I think 7, I did completely miss the apex on my first run, so I thought I'd have to brake earlier, get the car turned in, I'll gain a lot of time. I actually lost time overall. You can see there, just a slight snap of oversteer again. Just very unhappy with the car conditions. As we now come through the final corner, you can see it is improving. On the Delta, you can see we're now just a 10th up, but it does drop back down. I don't know how you lose time in a straight. And then hugging the wall up to the line, and you can see we only improved by 700ths of a second, which you can probably tell here from the car's language, the body language. I was not impressed with that lap. That lap, it really annoyed me. I think it really got to me as well. Just the weight of what this race could have done, and I couldn't even put a lap together in qualifying. 8 tenths off in the end, so not too bad. See, we're still in the top half of the field as well. Just kind of hoping for a fairly good race. But like as I said, my expectations aren't too high. I knew I was definitely an underdog coming into this event, so was just kind of waiting out to see if I could maybe make a mistake. He doesn't have the best of internet issues, like internet quality, so I was kind of hoping, a little bit of me was hoping his internet would drop, or he would just crash. As you can see, we are having to load a setup. This is actually the second attempt of the race. The first time around, the whole lobby crashed on lap 7, which was really annoying because I was in 4th, and Lando was last. He had after internet issues, he had dropped back to the back. So this is now the start of the second race. You can see a fairly decent turn off line, big snap of oversteer however, and then Vessi gets up the inside. I felt like a little bit of a sort of getting pinballed around there. In the middle, you can see there's a car on my left, that's Mario, who just about clipped my rear tyre there. Goes up into the grass. I don't know if that was my fault or not. I think I left him enough space. Also, when I watched this back originally, when editing it down, I'd looked to check if I did leave enough space for him. I believe I did. I think he must have just got a little bit of understeer. You see we have lost a couple of positions there at the start, jumping down to P8. Jumped by, I think, 3 cars off the line, which was a little bit annoying. Actually, Alpha may have been ahead, but you can see Lion loses it in the middle sector. His car is still in the race for now, at least. We'll see what happens to him a bit later on. So now we're only down to 7, so we've dropped a position.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Jeff there being as encouraging as ever. One thing I heavily noticed here was I severely lacked straight line speed to the rest of these guys. See the couple cars ahead of me, so Alpha and I think Trap Formula as well, they both had so much better straight line speed. We're going off the start then, you can see my pink car on the right there. I got a fairly decent start. Just didn't quite see that snap, but you can see getting absolutely sort of pinballed around in the middle there. You can see there was enough space for Mario's car from that camera angle. Moving now on to lap 8, coming up behind Alpha. Of course, formerly known as Mystic. He's had a name change, I don't know why, but he has. You can see here coming through turn 3, for some reason he just liked a bit of speed, so I just thought this is my chance now. I'm not going to get many or any others. As I said, I severely lack straight on speed to both of these cars. I'm currently sandwiched between, now moving on to lap 8 however, so also later on. This lap you see Trap uses a little bit of grass there on the exit, so we get right up behind him. DRS as well, still using overtake just because otherwise I'm not going to even get alongside him. Go to the outside as he covers the inside, braking pretty much where you normally would, and after that brake him as I was ahead. That puts us back up into P5, jumping now onto lap 14. That stint I pretty much just pulled away from the 2 behind for the rest of that, so following sort of 6 laps. Just kind of pulled the gap. I think he must have narrowed to be in about 6 seconds.
Go, go, go.
2.6 second pit stop as always. As we get to the pit exit, no spinning this time.
See these tyres through to the end now.
So we come now down out of the pit exit. You can see there's no one on the track to try and get ahead of, but you can see, I believe that's Dark Shadows Williams, they retired on the pits. For some reason the AI just drives them down to turn 4 before they pull off, which can make it rather difficult. A couple laps later now, on to lap 16. As we head down through the Senna S, you can see there VRT Storm has retired from the session, which brings out the first safety car of this race. That's right, first. There was, I think, 3 altogether in this race.
Delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
You can see now down in 9th. Cars here, of course, will get a free pit stop. I don't know if I lose any positions overall. You can obviously see I'm now ahead of a couple of them. I think I'm actually where I was before I stopped, because I think their Reflection and Billy have both jumped a couple of cars. Just weaving off the hard tyres. I can never get these things to warm up, like ever. It's a nightmare, and then as always I get just left at the start on a restart, and I also somehow jump cars behind me. I don't know how my reaction to sort of in that gap where I can jump the guys behind, but the guys ahead, just absolutely clueless. You'll see there I left a little bit of space at the apex. I didn't know where Rooney was, where he was planning on rejoining. So I was just a little bit cautious there. Didn't want him to just rejoin before the second corner, because I know some people can do that, or people have chosen to do that. Until lap 20. Now as we head over through the fast kinks, the flat out kinks towards the start finish line. I was a little bit annoyed at this because of my teammate who would have known I was in the championship fight, but he takes away 2 points from me there, which is, to be honest, fair enough. He was much quicker at this stage. Due to his tyres I couldn't really compete, but at least I wasn't struggling too badly on the hard tyres. So we're jumping now onto lap 21, we have Trap Formula now right up behind us. You're about to see the straight line speed he has in that Renault as he just comes not even really in the slipstream of the DRS. I do try and go defensive, he outbrakes me around the inside, turns across me, just about saved the spin. He, very sportsmanlikely, if that's a word, gave up the position, but that does cause the second safety car of this race. Yeah, he was very nice there to realise he had almost taken me out. We see a replay here from the outside. He just turns across, not trying to take the apex. I don't think he intended to do it. You can see very good racing there from, I think that's Reflection. Just saw a gap in between the two of us and just sent it, so fair play to him. See, very little tap there. I think I was very lucky to get away with a penalty. Although I am now carrying the speed limit board. Yeah, normally if you make any sort of contact under a full course yellow, so whether it be a safety car or a virtual safety car, the game hands you an instant 5-second time penalty. So I think I was very lucky to get away with that one. I don't know if he got one. Don't believe he would have. You see here, I just wanted to go a little bit faster on the pit exit. I didn't know if there was a car coming down on the actual track that could have jumped us. Now heading up onto the restart, soft tyres this time, so a lot easier to warm them up. You can see here, Trap already has to run on me, but he overtakes me here, which is an illegal overtake. You can't overtake before the line, which I think the game gave him an illegal overtake before that. Side by side then through the Senna S. I think I squeezed him a little bit too much there at turn 2. And then Alpha sticks it at the inside as well. Of course, in that straight line speed with what he has, I always find it very difficult to pass him. I don't think I left enough space for him there. I do actually think I pushed him onto the grass a little bit, so I do apologise for that if you're watching this. So just looking at the replay, obviously I thought I would have given him enough space, but watching it back afterwards, I don't think I did. Anyway, getting back on with the race, a very opportunistic move there, up the inside the Reflection into turn 7. I kind of just saw, I think he went a little bit wide through 6, so I just seized the opportunity. Little dive up the inside, there's a little bit of contact as well through turn 8, but managed to avoid getting spun around there. Felt a little bit of a tap on my wheel, so I stayed out of it. You see now in the replay, into the corner, you can see I am following him on the racing line and then just send up the inside. Thankfully he left space. You see a little bit of contact there, and there are 2 little taps, which caused me, I had to steer right through a left-hand hairpin just to avoid it. But now on the back of my teammate, lap 26. Now obviously I have the tyre advantage. Coming up around the outside. I don't know what he was doing here, because he kind of left the inside, but then he dived back into it. So clearly showing a lack of racecraft there. Lack of awareness maybe. Couldn't tell us what he was doing, because he kind of, I felt like he let me go. Like he braked early for the corner, but then he kind of, so he left the space initially, but then just dived back into it. So I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, jumping onto lap 33. Not left much time left to go as well. You see my teammate there, I think he was sideswiped on the straight, which in turn causes the third and final safety car with literally 3.5 laps to go. So I don't really know why that was called, but you can see now on lap 34 we are getting ready to go racing once more.
There's 3 laps of fuel.
You can see I've now jumped up into P4. Vessia did stop a while back. You can see I get the jump on them there, because they almost did the same as what Trap did in terms of making an overtake before the line. You can see a lock up into the first corner. I still can't get to grips with it. And you get right on the outside, you see the aquaplaning or aquaplaning goes a little bit wide, so I try and get up the inside of them. The podium would be a nice way to finish the season, but they just will hold it there. I have to leave the space. They then power on the outside. Vestia, I think, is just holding overtake there. And obviously I can't go defensive because of Mercedes there, so they just sneak into that gap. So it was very good racecraft there from the Renault, dropping me back down into P5, where I've pretty much been all race. So briefly here. They just about kept their car alongside. If the proximity hour had gone wide at all, I was taking the racing line on the exit. And they're running up to the line, you can see much better straight line speed there. I was using all of the battery, all of the fuel. But that was it then. It for the race, it for the championship. I couldn't do anything to stop Lando in the end there. Ending up 5th, he also of course took the win, so congratulations to you mate, fully deserved if you do watch this. Nothing I could have done to have prevented that. But that will be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe as always, it helps me out massively. And apart from that, we'll see you tomorrow with the next one.